as well. Mr. Chairman, thank you, Chairman DeFazio as well, Chairman Graves and Chairman Crawford. Pipeline safety is an incredibly important hearing, and I want to associate myself with the remarks of Ms. Trahan and Mr. Moulton, my colleagues from Massachusetts, and I certainly support their recommendations that we require licensed technicians and engineers on site, and we have adequate supervisory staffing at all times, no waivers, no exceptions. My own situation in my district, I have a couple of situations, one in West Roxbury, Massachusetts. It's part of the city of Boston. We have a transfer from a low-pressure line, natural gas line, to a high pressure. I think it was 5 to 10 psi before, now it's 50. This is a thickly settled residential neighborhood. This particular gas pipeline, constructed by Spectra Energy, goes through a gravel quarry that is adjacent to this residential neighborhood, so they're side by side. And there's active blasting. There's active blasting going on in the quarry next to the people's homes, kids, schools, very densely settled residential neighborhood. We tried mightily, the mayor, myself, elected officials, to get Spectra to move that pipeline out of the blasting zone and onto a major thoroughfare where it would not be proximate to residential homes. We went into court several times. The whole legal process here of trying to raise local safety concerns in the context of the Natural Gas Act of 1938, that system is impervious to local concerns. We have been there, been in the court, and we lose every time, lack of standing. We can't get into that process. The second situation I have is Weymouth, Massachusetts, another heavily settled, thickly settled, densely settled residential area. And I've got a compressor station that they want to build there. It's already an area that's heavily impacted by industrial use. There's a couple of tank farms, things like that, right on the coast, but the residential neighborhood is right there. So how do we raise the safety concerns in the context of the Natural Gas Act of 1938? Because I have lost so many times in court already, I can't even get into the process. We get bounced out all the time. And I'm afraid that what has happened in Merrimack Valley is going to happen in one of my neighborhoods, and we're going to have a massive loss of life because the area is much more concentrated with young children and residences. So, Mr. Elliott, if you want to take a crack at that, how do I protect my neighbors?
Well, Congressman, thank you very much for the question. And you know, with regards to the compressor station at Weymouth, you may recall that approximately a month or so ago, we had a conversation where you've asked for assistance on helping to set up a public meeting that will bring perhaps more points of view to bear. And as I responded to you, we're happy to work with you on that public meeting. That certainly is one way for us to help better understand the circumstances that are ongoing up there. You know, of the 2.7 million miles of pipeline that exist today in the United States, 80% of those are distribution pipeline systems such as you're talking about. I do think we have an extremely good working relationship with our state partners. We continue to work to strengthen that. We continue to work to strengthen their ability to provide adequate oversight to state distribution networks.
That's fair enough. I don't want to use all my time on this, but I'm not having the same experience with FERC, okay? And you know, that's a major problem because that's the adversarial relationship we have here in trying to impact this. Ms. Hamady, would you like to take a crack at that in terms of how we might raise the safety concerns of local neighborhoods?
I think I would agree with the administrator. Public meetings are probably the best way you're going to be able to have.
We've had those, though, with FERC, and they just, you know, They just blow us off and do what they're going to do anyway. That's the problem here. So I appreciate the recommendation that we have more meetings, but I got to get some stuff done. Thank you. I yield back.